Hey everybody, I'm Lance. This is Permanent Records YouTube channel, and this is another rapid fire record recommendations video. In these videos, I rip through our recent arrivals, our used recent arrivals, every single week, and I pull a big stack of records and I rip right through them, telling you why I like them so much. Before we get into this video, I'd like to ask you all one big favor. If you don't already subscribe to this channel, please click the subscribe button and or tell a friend about our channel. I'm trying to grow this channel to reach as many people as possible to make it worthwhile for me to continue making these videos. I'm a very busy guy. We run a record label. I do A&R for Writing Easy Records. We run a live music venue, bar, and record store here. I pick up massive record collections like the two big loads that I picked up recently, including one with 20,000 plus LPs in it and another one with 5,000 LPs and 20,000 45s. So I have plenty on my plate and not nearly enough time to make these videos. That's kind of the blessing and the curse of being in a good position to make these kinds of videos, is that I know a about records. Did you see that edit I just did on myself? That was pretty good, actually. But I'm also very busy and I'm drawn in a million different directions, so I do not have time to make these videos to be watched by just a handful of people. Let's blow this channel up, y'all. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. For those of you who do subscribe, thank you. I really appreciate that as well. Also, please like this video if you actually like it. If you don't like it, I don't know why you're watching. That's okay. But if you do like it, show me that you like it by clicking the like button. And also, I would love to hear your thoughts on the records featured in this video and or anything related to the records featured in this video. So shoot me a comment. I do my best to reply to all of them with what little time I have to put into this channel. Anyway, we're doing it. Let's get rocking. Here's my favorites of this week's recent arrivals. First and foremost, we got Back in the USA by the MC5. Not just any old copy, we got a white label promo of the original pressing of Back in the USA, featuring Looking at You and also the softer side of MC5, Let Me Try. What a wonderful song that is. That's one of the greatest songs ever written, in my opinion. Hard rock or not, that is a fantastic song. You could play that at your wedding reception or your funeral or whatever. It goes anywhere. MC5, Back in the USA. All right, I'm gonna try to carefully place these. I didn't give myself very much room here. Help Yourself. This band is fantastic. Nobody listens to, or nobody talks about them. I'm not sure why. I don't have enough time to get into the backstory of Help Yourself, but they did two really fantastic records and a third one that some people consider fantastic as well. They're all very hard to come by psych records and definitely worth your attention. Go check yourself out, some Help Yourself. Help yourself to some Help Yourself. This is the Chocolate Watchman, again, a white label promo of One Step Beyond. This is a classic San Jose psych record. Everything Chocolate Watchman is related, highly recommended. And if you like late 60s psych, of course, you're familiar with the Velvet Underground and Nico. This is the classic with the mostly unpeeled banana. We're missing the stem there, but you can see the little pink banana underneath. This is unfortunately not a torso, but this copy, even though it looks a little rough, plays very nice, so it doesn't come with that premium price tag a super clean copy would. Those of you that know me know that I am a huge Hawkwind fan. They're one of the greatest psychedelic space rock bands of all time, if not the greatest, and Robert Calvert was a member of Hawkwind. This is Lucky Leaf and the Long Ships, a solo record of his. Not as good as the Hawkwind material in my opinion, but still very good psychedelic space rock. Speaking of space rock, or cosmic music from Germany, Two classic krautrock records by a legend in the krautrock world, Michael Rother or Michael Rother, depending on what language you speak. These are his first two solo albums after leaving Neu. He was a founding member of Kraftwerk. He's in Harmonia, obviously Neu, and his solo records are all really good. I've talked about them ad nauseum, but luckily we just got back our palette from our European record buying trip, so there's a bunch of this stuff in there and more of that to come. Those of you punk rockers out there, this is a classic compilation on New Alliance. This has the Minutemen, Red Cross, Descendants, China White, Saccharine Trust, and more. The urinals are on here. Life is ugly. Why not kill yourself? Don't do that. Life is beautiful. Stay alive. Listen to punk rock comps like this one, this classic LA punk comp, punk hardcore, whatever you want to call it. This is the Clone Defects. Timmy from Timmy's Organism, Timmy Vulgar, was in the Clone Defects before he started Timmy's Organism and Human Eye and so on and so forth. This is essential chrome-influenced psychedelic punk. Amazing stuff. This has aged really well. Came out in the late 90s or early 2000s. I don't remember the date on this one, but it's awesome stuff. And you don't see these Clone Defects very often, these records, because people who own these generally hard file them. They're not especially valuable yet, but wait for it, y'all, wait for it. All right, and mostly, first and foremost, I should have featured this off the top. This is Mother Bow to the King by Bang. I did the A&R work to get this record reissued on Riding Easy Records, replete with an insert, gatefold. This is the Riding Easy catalog insert, and there's a Bang insert in here as well, if I can get it out. Our copies, I don't have one right here in front of me, are on opaque yellow vinyl. They look really cool. You can get one of these reissues on our website, permanentrecordsla.com. This is essential listening for early 70s heavy rock fans. Bang were a badass band from that era. They released 3 albums back in the day, I want to say. The first 2 are definitely the best, self-titled, and Mother, Bow to the King. It's a double EP released on one record. We'd have to ask Frank Bang about the story behind that. Maybe I'll do a separate video where I get deeper into this Bang record. But anyway, if you like early 70s heavy rock, get yourself into this. It's like, how would I describe it? Kind of like a cross between Black Sabbath and Grand Funk Railroad. All the heavy and evil side of Black Sabbath with a lot more of that than the Grand Funk funkiness, but it's in there. This is a good time record for any summer backyard barbecue. And while you're at our website, grab yourself a copy of any of the Brown Acid records. As many of you know, I'm the curator of the Brown Acid compilation series. There are 20 volumes out now. We just celebrated the 10th anniversary with this one. And this is recommended, highly recommended, for fans of hard rock, heavy psych, and proto-metal. Obscure records, comped, rare 45s comped on these LPs and CDs. And yeah, you can get them all at permanentrecordsla.com. All right, back into the recent arrivals. We got a really cool import featuring Terry Riley here. Yeah, if you don't know Terry Riley, he is a modern composer, really hypnotic, repetitive stuff. His album In C is a classic in the genre. Yeah, if you like Bitchin' Bajas, they're a contemporary band, heavily influenced by Terry Riley. And who else is similar? You know, guys like Philip Glass and Steve Reich, stuff like that. Anyway, amazing modern composition stuff there. We got a signed Abner J record. If you're not familiar with Abner J and you like the blues or outsider music or both, you should definitely get yourself a copy of the one-man band Abner J stuff. Just absolutely, truth is stranger than fiction when it comes to Abner J. It's unbelievable that those records exist. They are amazing. Bob Darin, yeah, this is the Bobby Darin in the early 70s, doing more of a country funk kind of vibe. Commitment, this album is amazing. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Light in the Attic country funk comps. Well, Bobby Darin, or Bob Darin as he was known in this era, was featured on those comps. And this record follows that rule. Find a guy from that was popular in the 50s and 60s and the early 70s wearing a leather hat like that, check that record out. Usually it delivers. Jackie DeShannon, here's a good example of kind of a similar thing. She's not wearing a leather hat, but she's dressed the part for sure. And this is Jackie DeShannon gone country rock. This album's awesome. She covers the Weight by the Band here. That must be heard to be believed. If you think you know Jackie DeShannon, you don't if you haven't heard that album. It's amazing. Those of you who like Mdal Mokhtar and Tanarawin, familiarize yourself with Group Dua. Pretty much everything, especially the Western Saharan African stuff, the Tuareg stuff on this Sublime Frequencies label is worth your attention. And I would go as far as to say that the Bishop brothers from Sun City Girls have done almost no wrong on the Sublime Frequencies label. I absolutely love that stuff. It's incredible. They did a great job with that label over the years. I wish they did more of it. Here's a 90s classic. I remember waking up in junior high school to my radio alarm clock, and I swear Fade Into You or Undone the Sweater Song were the two records that were constantly playing at 6:30 in the morning or whenever my alarm went off, and they are forever burnt into my brain. And this album stands the test of time. It's absolutely incredible. And if you haven't heard the title track from this, it's super, super groovy, repetitive psych monster. Kind of reminds me of Wooden Ships, actually, well before Wooden Ships were a thing. I'm gonna move this pile here to make room for more. We also, in this week's recent arrivals, have a bunch of amazing half-speed master and audiophile records. These are Wendy Carlos records, switched on Brandenburgs and switched on Bach. This is Wendy Carlos at the synthesizer, at the Moog synthesizer, showing her chops on some classical numbers. This is absolutely amazing stuff. Everything Wendy Carlos is recommended. I love me some 60s French pop. We got some Francoise Hardy in the mix here. Correct me in the comments. I think it's Francoise. I pronounced it Francois Hardy for a long time, and I think that's the male version. I don't know. Somebody who speaks better French than me and knows how to say her name, please say it, or you know, outline how to pronounce her name, because I want to get it right. This is important 60s French pop music right here. Yee Girl, amazing stuff. If you like soundtracks, there's a ton of soundtracks in the recent arrivals. I'll show a few more here in a minute, but one of my favorites is the Endless Summer soundtrack. If you've never seen this surf film, you have to check it out. This movie is one of the reasons why I wanted to move to Southern California, and that's why I'm in LA. I do surf occasionally. I don't have time for it much these days, unfortunately, but I do have the Endless Summer soundtrack to listen to and the film to watch, and that kind of gets me there, even if I'm stuck on the west side buried in records. While we're talking soundtracks, let me jump ahead of these jazz records and just show some of the other highlights. And wow, there are a lot of jazz records to show. We do not have time to get into the depth on these, but we got Children of the Corn, we got Scarface. All of these are in recent arrivals. This is the Andromeda strain, and all of these soundtracks are highly recommended. Of course, you know I love Popol Vuh. This is a compilation of a bunch of stuff they did, including Fitzcarraldo and Nosferatu. Awesome, awesome soundtracks. In this collection we bought most recently, the soundtracks were some of the best records in the collection. Absolutely stunningly curated soundtrack collection. And there's a ton of great jazz in the recent arrivals, including this Impulse record and a couple of Impulse records to follow. This is the Blues in the Abstract Truth by Oliver Nelson. This record slays. You have to check it out. And of course, we got orange and yellow, no, orange and black spines on our Impulse titles here. Another highly recommended one is 3 for Shep by Marion Brown. Absolutely amazing stuff. And the legendary John Coltrane. This one is Impressions, and it's by John Coltrane, so you know it's good. Fans of jazz that are big into the bass guitar, get this Jaco Pastorius record. You probably don't need me to tell you that, but this is a super, super clean OG, and this record just keeps climbing in value. and for good reason. It was far too cheap for far too long. There's a bunch of great blue notes over there too, including this Imperial Isles by Herbie Hancock. All right, running short on time, but I did want to show you a bunch of the Nina Simone records that are in the recent arrivals. Absolutely amazing, hard to find those in good shape. And there is just an incredible amount of Bill Evans in recent arrivals. I didn't even pull all of them because I knew I was gonna run out of time, but the amount of Bill Evans in this most recent collection was just mind-blowing. And you never see that much Bill Evans or this many original master recordings. Check out these MoFis, some of the most essential titles and some of the others as well. There are more MoFis in our shop right now than I think we've ever had in the past. I'm almost dropping them on the ground. That's the trouble with these rapid fire record recommendation videos, is that, oh yeah, that is a MoFi. I'm going too fast. I don't have time to talk about all of them. Obviously, you gotta have Deja Vu by CSNY, Cosmos Factory, Miles, all on the original master recordings, MoFi vinyl. Wow, that was a lot in just under 16 minutes. Anyway, I hope you're still with us. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching these videos, sharing them, spread them far and wide. Shout from the mountaintops about Permanent Records YouTube channel, because I want as many people to benefit from this content as possible. Thank you for watching, most importantly, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care, all.